Today is or was pull the rest of the potatoes day in the raised garden bed. I don't want to wait too long to get the next round of crops sown. It's still the beginning of summer, but that will change within a week or so, and I need to get my next round of crops in ground for the mid to late fall harvest. I'm thinking carrots and corn in this bed, or corn and peas. I'm not totally decided what's going in yet, but I'm convinced that it's time. After I remove the rest of these Yukon Go and Adirondack blue potatoes from this bed, I'm going to amend this soil with some organic material from my compost bin, and then add organic fertilizers and water everything in and start the cycle of sowing seeds again. I have the full video on my YouTube channel, 2 green thumbs, of the start to end process of me sowing these potatoes back in March. So look for the video how to grow potatoes on my channel for that step-by-step tutorial. And as always, I like to remind everyone watching to please subscribe to the 2 green thumbs channel. I spell thumbs with a Z at the end. Like, share, and comment on my content. I'm constantly doing gardening experiments comparing different grow techniques, different varieties of crops, and different areas of my garden space to see what works for me and what doesn't. It helps me gain a better understanding of the crops throughout the growth cycle, and sometimes we do everything right as gardeners. It can be slight variables like varieties or climate that makes the difference. I've grown potatoes in ground previous years and wasn't too satisfied with results, so I already know that the raised garden bed worked better for me, and I'm knowing it's because of the looser soil. Out here in Georgia where I'm at, it's hard clay-like soil in the ground. And I think I'm liking the idea of the grow bags too, because instead of digging up a large area searching for potatoes when it's harvest time, flipping the bag makes the search so much more easy. I have a few potatoes growing in 5-gallon grow bags, and I got a little curious about the progress of those. There was one plant out of all of them that flowered and the leaves started to die back. So this is the one I'll observe the progress with. I hauled that grow bag over to the garden bed and tipped it over. And this was my yield, not bad for a 5-gallon grow bag. And altogether, this is the haul from the raised bed plus the one from the grow bag. I realized that some of the Yukon Go varieties have holes in them and are turning brown. I separated those from the bunch. The skin on those are a little more thin than the Adirondack blue variety, and I think that has something to do with how they were affected. It's just a theory. I also pulled some carrots from the other raised garden bed. I'm ready to harvest to sow my next round and take advantage of long daylight hours before the fall hits and limits what will grow and produce well in my hardiness zone, AA. The carrots are looking good, and the variety Scarlet Nuts are really doing well for me in my grow zone, and have officially made it to my list of carrots that I will keep growing year after year in my garden. It kind of reminds me of the variety of carrots Bugs Bunny ate. I did notice a few aphids around some of my tomato plants, so I sprayed them off with the water hose and started harvesting tomatoes in that area, even the green ones. Tomatoes will ripen within a few days off the vine indoors, and I'd rather have them harvested and ripen a few days indoors than take my chances with aphid infestation outdoors destroying the fruit. These aphids are really ruthless too. I have marigolds, nasturtiums, and basil all companion planted in that raised bed, but do you think they care? They don't. There are organic products such as neem oil that can help with infestation. I only use neem oil when it gets really bad. I try not to use any products in the garden for pest control, but if I do, I select the organic solution. I have several pollinator plants around the garden, hoping that they invite some of the aphid predators to control the population naturally. And I also do my part with what I can by removing the little boogers by hand and spraying them off with the water hose. I let them kind of do their own thing 2 years ago, and my peppers suffered. A lesson I learned: I no longer allow any pests to live peacefully in my garden. So my harvest for the day, I harvested the rest of the potatoes out the raised bed and one of the ones in the 5-gallon grow bags. I harvested some carrots, the Uzbek variety, and I can't remember the other variety. I want to say it's the nuts, and of course some tomatoes. And this is my harvest for the day. And this is what it's about. The sweat, the heat, the cold, the dirt, and the time put in, all worth it when I'm able to stock my kitchen with these garden groceries. I'm doing a soup for dinner tomorrow.